Happy Friday and thanks for watching This Week in Discovery News. I'm Trace and each week we lay out the top stories of the last 7 days plus your social media comments. And this week, happy Shark Week everybody. The Olympics are over and it's time for sharks and what? And apparently we landed on Mars too, so we're going to cover that. Presenting the world's slowest shark. Not quite what you expected for Shark Week, eh? Well, don't worry. Next week on the Discovery Channel, you can get all the great white jumping and attacking tiger shark ripping stuff. But right now, we're going to cover Greenland sharks. You may never have heard of them. They're not the most exciting shark in the world. They are, in fact, the world's slowest shark, sprinting at an impressive 1.7 miles per hour. Greenland sharks look a little cuddly and friendly, but they're not. They're hunters just like many other sharks. The problem is they don't really know how they hunt. Scientists have examined their stomach contents and found lots of fish, and most sharks use their speed and agility to catch prey. Wow! But this one they're not really sure. They think that it sneaks up on snoozing seals and gets itself an easy dinner. Cruise over to discoverynews.com/slowpokeshark to learn more. And now we're going to go from the deep sea frontier to the deep space frontier. Shark fact! A shark can detect the electrical impulse of one AA battery from up to a mile away. Discovery News Mars coverage! Yay! Look at this guy. That's right, we landed on Mars. This guy says it all. We here at Discovery News are geeks and nerds and pantsies, whatever. We're smart, okay? But not nearly as smart as the folks at NASA who just landed a probe on the surface of Mars. So we've got to give it to NASA and to Caltech's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. This is kind of a big deal. How did you miss this? The Mars Science Laboratory, nicknamed Curiosity, landed on the surface of the red planet this week. It's a really big deal because of the last 50 missions sent to Mars, only 15 have landed safely. So this is a big deal. I said big deal. Did I say big deal? Because I feel like I said it a few times. Let me blow your mind a little. Curiosity is roughly the size and weight of a Mini Cooper or a small SUV. NASA strapped it to the top of a rocket and shot it at Mars. It arrived there 8 months later, where it then had to perform the most complex robotic landing maneuver ever attempted. The engineers nicknamed this process the 7 minutes of terror. The probe will hit the Martian atmosphere at thousands of miles per hour. The heat shield will protect it from the 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit that the friction in the air will generate. At that point, once it's in the atmosphere, it will unveil the largest parachute ever sent into space. The parachute will slow down the whole apparatus until it can eject the heat shield. Then, Curiosity will be exposed to the atmosphere, and it can start using ground-sensing radar to find its landing site. Then the whole thing drops out of the parachute. A sky crane that's rocket propelled will keep it above the ground while it maneuvers. When it gets to 60 feet above the ground, the sky crane lowers the nuclear-powered 1-ton SUV-sized probe to the Martian surface. This whole process happens without any human intervention. So JPL and NASA were just sitting there watching and waiting to see what would happen. So over the last week, we've all been geeking out over this Mars Curiosity coverage, from its first photos to the guy who drives the rover on Mars to any number of other things, including this guy with a mohawk. It's kind of like having a new baby because, you know, it's like its first photo and the first time it uses its ChemCam laser firing instrument to check the minerals in nearby rocks for sampling. It's so cute. See all of our Mars coverage at discoverynews.com/Mars, or you can just see how Curiosity is doing at discoverynews.com/MarsCuriosity. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's dive back into the oceans and see some sharks, shall we? Shark fact! Much like a tree, you can tell how old a shark is by counting the rings in its vertebrae. Don't chop any sharks in half, please. Shark teeth have built-in toothpaste. So you'd think with all of those teeth and eating all that meat and stuff that sharks would have to worry about flossing and brushing and all that cavities, but they don't have to worry about any of that. Sharks can not only change out their teeth, but their teeth are 100% fluoride, so they never get a cavity. When scientists took a closer look at the teeth of the shark, they found out that its teeth are primarily made of the same stuff that we use in toothpaste and dental mouthwashes. Our teeth contain a different mineral called hydroxyapatite, which means we have to floss and brush a lot more often, and they never do. inside of sharks' teeth is dentin, which we also have in our teeth. But if you measure the hardness of sharks' teeth, they are just as hard as ours. The reason that the hardness of the teeth is cool because with 100% fluoride, shark teeth should actually be significantly harder than ours. But our teeth evolved, the scientists think, in a way that created a crystalline structure that makes our teeth, even though they're softer minerals, just as hard as shark teeth. That's crazy. Learn more at discoverynews.com/sharkpaste. So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning into This Week in Discovery News. Make sure that you like us on Facebook, that you follow us on Twitter, and that you check out our Tumblr. You can also subscribe to our Discovery Daily newsletter. Subscription options and links to all of that are at discoverynews.com. Keep commenting and tweeting. I read them all. And have a great Shark Week, everybody. There's something flying in my face. Let me blow your mind. Are you ready, Jane? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm like Napoleon. Minerals is not a word. It's all up here.